Listen, if you play video games, if you ever did, if you liked them as a kid, maybe you don't anymore, I want you to understand you literally know everything in its basic concept that you need to know to be ultra successful at life. And I'm not talking about a little bit of success. I'm not talking about maybe just having a good job, but you hate, your home life. I'm not talking about just loving your home life, but hating what you do every day. I'm not talking about what everybody thinks you're supposed to have. I'm talking about abundance. The highest level of playing this game of life is quite literally the same as all the video games that you've been playing, you want to play, you're going to play, used to play, it doesn't matter. All right, now I'm going to explain this. But in a very nutshell, when you first begin in any video game, in case you are somebody watching this video and you have not played these games, right? When you first start off and you're on like level 1, right? You have no abilities whatsoever, like no sauce, right? Your little health bar is this big. But the good news is in level 1, also the things that you're fighting, right? We'll draw like some little boars or whatever, right? They're also level 1. And so their health bar is actually a little bit less than yours. Right, which means that with the base skills that you have at level 1, you are able to defend yourself against the creatures or the in-game things that are also level 1. Right? Now, a lot of you people, this is rocket science, but what is the similarities here is what happens is in order to get to level 2, what you have to do is continuously learn skills, and then as you learn those skills, you have to apply them by fighting level 1 creatures. Okay, right. So you start off, you got some base moves. Right? You got like the kick, the punch, the slash, the whatever your character set is. And here's the coolest part about these games, and it's getting even crazier by the age, is that they let you really customize what this character is. They allow you, through your choosing in the beginning of the game, to pick the individual habits and traits and skill sets that you think you would best play and have the most skill in this entire world of the game. And then you could do that from level 1. And each character has their advantages and disadvantages. People can do certain things that other people can't do, right? So maybe you can already see how this is similar to life. But I really want to be honest, this is true, right? When we're starting to go up with our environment, sometimes a lot of the things that we start with on level 1, our base moves, aren't our faults. We didn't choose them in a fancy screen over 12 hours and make it look exactly how we want, but some things we did, right? Some things you've learned didn't work out for you that you learned as a kid. Some things you've learned did work out for you. You've in your business, if you have one or if you want to have one or if you ever worked at a job, right? When you first start off at that job, you've learned, okay, the manager says do it this way, and you were effective with that. But then you've learned through months of being there that the fastest way is actually, and for you, the easiest way is actually to do X, Y, Z. Right? So you level up. But what in real life represents, if we in our skill sets and the way we choose to interact with the world represents our base moves and the character in our level 1, what represents these level 1 creatures that we have to apply the learned skills against, right? We just talked about one. These are just your everyday problems. I'm going to squiggle because you guys know what I mean, right? Your everyday problems. They're the creatures that you have to fight. Now, if you've ever played a video game before for any amount of time or leveled up in a video game, right? What happens when you first fight these level 1 creatures and these small problems? Or, and another way to put it in terms of, life, is what happens when we face problems in our life that are small in nature or that we are used to? Well, in the very beginning, when you're a kid and you face some of the same problems that you guys we're going to explain later, right? There are actually teaching you skills, right? When you ask a small toddler, hey, can you throw this away for me? Right? Throwing something away is a skill that would be way beneath level 1 for most of us adults. But to a toddler, to understand the command, to follow out the command, to execute it without doing it wrong, and to come back and to tell you they did it is all a learned skill that is super beneficial to their overall leveling up. Right? But to you and me, it's a waste of time. It's just another thing we have to do. In video games, it's the same way. If you all of a sudden find yourself, after years of work, find yourself at level 10, and now your health bar is like this, right? You've added, the list of moves has doubled, right? When you go up against those same level 1 problems, 2 things happen. Number 1, it is not difficult. You find it simple. You can one-shot things, right? You have the ability to take out problems that used to cause you difficulty, that used to give you experience, and to level you up, become easy. And then the second, which is the dangerous thing that happens, is when you reach a certain level and you face a smaller problem, you no longer gain experience from that problem. Now, this is important because this is the secret that the most successful people in life understand. In order to level up, you then, if you have a level 10 person, right, and they need to fight, really, a level 12 problem, right? And when you do this, it's hard. When you fight up against something like this, it's super difficult, right? If any of you guys have ever played video games where you have free range and you can go into areas where bigger, more difficult, more stronger, more tough creatures are at, and players who have already beaten them, right? When you get into these areas, you got to tiptoe, you got to be careful, because one wrong move and you're crushed. You're back to square one. You lose the loot. Your video game restarts. Whatever the thing is in life, right? And in life, it's the same thing. Sometimes those big boy problems, right? Those big boy decisions and big girl decisions and big they decisions, whatever, right? Those problems are the big ones. If you do it the wrong way, man, it's deadly, right? If some of you guys have tried investing thousands of dollars and lost it, some of you guys have started companies and messed them up. Some of you guys have said you were going to do one thing publicly on the internet and then didn't do the thing publicly on the internet. It is tough. However, with each one that you win, you level up. And if you've also played a video game, you'll know that the best loot, right? The best loot, which will help you for the rest of the game, right? The best armor, the best skills, the best everything, the most experience. The best loot / the most experience comes from the hardest battles. That game that was super popular a few years, I forget even what it's called. Elden Ring? No, not that. Whatever. There was some game that was super popular. You guys are going to flame me in the comments. The reason why the game was so popular is because you had so much customization available, but also you were able to, it was not easy, right? It was hard. People are getting one-shotted 24/7 by regular bosses. And it was because the experience was so difficult, it forced the average player who enjoyed that game to get more and more skills. And so in order to, dog eat dog world, in order to be successful with that game, you literally had to deal with the craziest things. You had to watch tutorials. You had to try it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But what happens is as you continue to face bigger and badder things, it's easier because along the process of fighting harder, situations in life and in the game, right, you are going to face and learn to win more skills. In order to win, you're going to learn. And that's like a natural thing. You don't even have to be smart to do that. Some of you guys may be watching this, or maybe you watch other people's, videos and you think, well, I can't do that. That's cool that this guy was able to relate and do these things and be able to come back, but I really can only just play the game. That's not true. If you understand what I'm telling you, then you, like on a core level, get what it takes to be successful. You just yet to have played this game. You have yet to turn on this console, the one that's in your body, right? The one that's in your heart, the one that's in your mind. Right? You have yet to try to upgrade this. And when you do, the sky's the limit, quite literally. Like, there is nothing that can stop a person who understands that I'm going to have to just keep going and that I will keep playing this game until the best players come from the hardest battles. Why? Because they never see them as such. They just see them as another step. Because relative, one of the things we forget is that really this fight, or not this fight when you're level 10, but when you're 1-to-1 and you're level 1, fighting level 1 problems, when you look at a player who's level 100, you may think that in order for them to be level 100 and to fight a level 100 beast, that means that they are inherently a better player at the game than you. And that's not true. They've just simply taken more battles, and they've learned, and they practice, and they put in the time. So yeah, maybe they're a better player right now, but the best part is as human beings, we got time, my baby. We got it all. Right? So as long as you still have some of this left, doesn't matter how much, doesn't matter how much you've wasted, as long as you still got any of this time left, you can get to any level you want to be. And then even further, right? It takes more experience and it takes longer for a level 10 player to reach level 11 than it does for a level 1 to reach level 2. The things that you take on in life are going to be easy in the beginning, and they will gradually get harder the closer you get to what you actually want from them. If you actually want to be level 100, well, level 1 through 45 maybe will be super easy, but those last 10, dog, I'm telling you, those last 10, if you ever played a game like an MMORPG and you had to level up, the first, out of 100 levels, the first 90, super easy. The last 10 are just as hard as the first 90. And there's a reason, because they don't want everybody to be at the top. And everybody can be, right? Only the people willing to do that 99% of the stuff that other people don't want to do, that's who's going to be at the top. It's the same thing in video games. See, this is you guys are sitting up here at the top, Predator at Apex, top League of Legends, whatever, top Modern Warfare, blah, 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 Call of Duty this, with a genius level brain, right? So many strategies. You guys are smarter than me, right? A lot of you watching this video have more skills, more ability, or a higher level player than me. And you have so much ability. And imagine if you applied that same energy, the same hours, the same focus towards quite literally anything else. You'd be successful as hell. You already are successful. You just are in a video game, which means you could be in life. There's no difference. And then here's the secret, right? I'm going to give this to you guys watching right now, because you're the 1%ers. You're the people who watch all the video games tutorials. What's the fastest way? And some people say this is cheating. Okay, some people say you don't learn the aspect of the game. But what's the fastest way in a game to go from 0 to 100? Have somebody run you through it. That's already level 100. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to this. The advantages are you'll get more results quicker in a faster, more predictable way. If you guys have ever had a big brother or big cousin who has played a video game and won it already, and they can join you on the game and run you through or smurf you through, right? You will get the results faster. It just is the facts. When you have somebody who's already done what you want to do, they're with you to tell you, hey, I probably want to do this. I do this instead. You will end up at the result quicker. The thing that you have to decide for yourself is, what do you have more of? Do you have more time and energy? Are you willing to grind? Are you able to build it up? If so, I commend you. My hat's off to you, right? You absolutely can do this and go through this process and spend all the damn time that you spend on the game towards your own life, towards your personal development, towards any business. Quite literally, I don't make videos on telling you guys what business to do, because you could do any of them with this concept and win, right? it's totally possible to do it on your own. Just you're gonna have to go through all the levels. You're gonna have to go through the time. If you got a bunch of this, great. If you don't want to use this, right, you can get a mentor for literally anything. If you guys want to go in the gym, get a personal trainer, right? If you want to learn how to do business, get a mentor from a business person. If you want to learn how to do mindset stuff, get a life coach. There's people who already have done what you want to do, and they're willing to give you the information quicker and faster so you can get it. But you can obviously take this journey yourself, and it will be just as valuable. You just need to have the right frame and understand that the hardest battles are going to give you the most experience, that you have time, that the same thing that you did to get to level 2 is the same thing that you need to get to level 12. It's just harder and longer and takes more energy. Okay, so I hope this video was valuable for you guys. You literally, if this makes sense, the world is yours. So peace, love, and prosperity. I'll see you on the next one.